What's everyone saying? It's your boy Somebody Sports back again. I'm here today in central London. Tower Bridge is behind me there. Tower Pier is behind me there. And behind me, just there, let me check, have I got it? No, I don't. There. Behind me there is the old City Hall, the old home of the GLA, the Greater London Authority, and the former place of work for the Mayor of London. As you may know, the current Mayor of London is one Sadiq Khan, but you might know of an infamous Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson was Mayor of London for a number of years, and you can say that he's left a bit of a legacy. It's a sunny day, it's a nice day out, people are cutting about, I'm vibing. So I thought, why not have a look at Boris Johnson's legacy when it comes to transport in London. So let's cut about the city, let's see what went well, what didn't go well, what didn't even happen. And yeah, we'll have a little bit of a discussion.
Now, many people know Boris Johnson as the guy who told you to stay home back in March 2020. He told you if a friend asked to meet up, you should have said no. Well, that was him during his premiership as the Prime Minister of the UK, which didn't end quite well, if I must say. What fellow Londoners will remember his time in politics for will be his time as Mayor of London, twiddling his thumbs up there at Old City Hall. Mr. Boris was not only known for being the mayor who got stuck up on zip lines, forgot to add a hair comb to his weekly shop, fathering multiple children, allegedly, but for being big on championing a number of transportation projects in London. Some of them you could say have been questionable. Some haven't even been built, but some have come to symbolise London in the 21st century. I've done a video on the Boris bus already, asking if the new route masters were just a vanity project or a successful part of Boris's 8-year mayoral stint. In a nutshell, the Boris Master, the Boris bus, new route master, new bus for London, whatever you want to call it, was a model of bus commissioned by Mr. Bojo himself. They aimed to be like the reincarnation of the original AEC route master bus, which had been withdrawn from regular service in 2005. Although running on heritage routes 9 and 15 in central London till 2019, and the T15, check out my video. 1,000 of them were commissioned and now they zoom all across the city. They really are a mainstay on London's roads nowadays, but they haven't come without any controversy. The biggest being that in most cases these new buses weren't actually better for the environment than the sexy buses they replaced. Hundreds of conductors lost their jobs when they were deemed surplus to requirements, with the buses no longer having the hop-on hop-off feature the original route masters were known for. The buses were also regarded as moving greenhouses as they were built without any windows. The list goes on, go check out my video. These buses smell of Boris the Fairful Johnson, but I've eventually grown to like them. Most transport projects in London at the time of Jobo's mayorship had been nicknamed after him, and the big boy was this, the Boris bike. These were originally the brainchild of London's first mayor, Ken Livingstone, back in 2007, drawing inspiration from Paris's Vélib'. Ken left office in 2008, Boris came in, and the service was launched in 2010. Today there are around 800 docking points and 12,000 bikes on London streets. Well, hopefully. Originally named the Barclays Bikes, through sponsorship, the service was renamed as part of its current sponsorship to Santander Cycles, which I don't feel has the same ring as Barclays Bikes. Nevertheless, the system has expanded across the city gradually, initially being only located in central London, but now there's bikes and docking stations all over the city. It's been extremely successful, so much that a number of other companies like Lime, Uber and Human Forest have joined the bike and e-bike rental space. With this success, you know Bonson Joris has been quick to hail it as his project, which would partly be true, yes, but you can't say he hasn't been influential in pushing the project worldwide too, since some Boris bikes have even been found in Jamaica and Ghana. See, I don't know how someone fit one in their hold luggage, but I respect the hustle. But I feel sorry for the one person who used their car to hire that specific bike out and forgot to dock it back properly. They probably had a hefty bill on their Amex the next month.
You know, I've actually done the Boris bikes a couple of times. No, I'm lying. I've only done it once. It was nice, got the bikes out down near Waterloo, had a little cycle, ended up at Tower Bridge. It'd been a while since I'd actually last cycled in London. But now you see everyone cycling now. I'd say the infrastructure is not as good as like an Amsterdam or like a Copenhagen and whatnot, but the bikes are there and they're very popular, very popular.
It's quite easy to hire out a Ken Boris bike. You find a docking station, touch some buttons on the cheeky screen, insert or type your card, and voila. Take it out, go for a wander, and dock it when you're done. Continuing on the bike theme, plans for the so-called Sky Cycle network were proposed back in the early 2010s. This would have consisted of 220 kilometers of elevated cycle paths which orbit across the city. These cycle paths would have been suspended above railway lines, spreading all across London. The reactions to the plans were, and are still, a bit of a mixed bag. Some welcomed the idea's aims to improve cyclist safety and promote active travel, but then there were some that were a bit cautious due to the proposed cost of the project. £8 billion. It was surely a radical plan and was paused by Boris, even though Borisington and subsequently Sadiq Khan were quite fond of the project. If you wanted to experience the feeling of being suspended up in the air on a piece of Boris history, you'd probably have to ditch the hope of a sky cycle and head here to North Greenwich to ride on the trusty Dangleway, the London cable car, the IFS Cloud cable car.
Yo, sorry, sidetrack. There is a massive queue for the thingy, for the Dangleway. What's going on there? Right, folks, we're doing a bit of a switcheroo. There is a queue. It's looking a bit mad. So I'm gonna go across the river to Royal Victoria and get from there because I'm not really sure what's going on. I've never seen the queue this busy before. What's going on? Boris.
The Dangleway opened in 2012, following a year of construction. Around the time of opening, the project was sponsored by Emirates Airline, who lended their name to the system, naming it Emirates Airline. Woo. Emirates had signed a 10-year sponsorship contract, contributing £36 million out of the £60 million to the construction of the project. One thing I will say about Bobo McJojo is that he knew how to get that sponsorship money, whatever the weather, whatever the cost. Anyways, when Emirates held the sponsorship, there was also a small museum at Greenwich Peninsula that had a number of exhibits, including a full-size flight simulator, which was a welcome addition to the tourist experience here. On expiry of the sponsorship deal in 2022, a new deal was negotiated with current sponsor, Swedish software company IFS, at a fraction of the size of the Emirates deal. Anyways, if you haven't ridden on the Dangleway, you're not missing out on much. The 1.1 kilometer extravaganza of a gondola travels between Greenwich Peninsula and Royal Docks. There's a whole lot you can say about this thing, but it's more of a tourist attraction than an essential part of London's transport infrastructure. Father Johnson said that the Dangleway would be a valuable asset to London and its commuters, but it only reached the max of 4 regular commuters.
I paid £6 for that. I'm gonna go into the free London cable car experience.
If you ever cut about central London, you've probably realised that it's so easy to cross from the south to the north. The River Thames is well traversed by links underground and above ground. If you're above ground, you're probably going to be using your legs to go across a bridge. One of central London's many bridges. And Boris wanted to add another one? The idea of a garden bridge was initially pushed by actress and author Joanna Lumley as far back as 1998, following the death of Princess Diana. And whilst mayor, it was heavily backed by Mr. Alexander Boris the Pfeffel Johnson. However, as time went on, people began to wonder if this project was actually good value for money, or if it was just a way for the son of Mr. Stanley to stamp his name on yet another vanity project. Something to compare to the other green projects across the world, like New York City's High Line or Milan's Bosco Verticale. Italiano. See. A unique project in itself, it wasn't without the humongous amount of controversy that led to its ultimate collapse. Hey, you see what I did there? London Bridge is falling down. Hey! It was rife with financial concerns all throughout its planning, with millions of taxpayers' cash being dished out to different stakeholders when not a single brick had even been laid. £21 million had been signed off to French company Bouygues for a construction contract when the land for the bridge hadn't even been secured. When asked about what the bridge's purpose was going to be, no one had a Scooby. The bridge was to have minimal transport benefit for the cost, especially when Waterloo Bridge is 150 meters away. There were concerns raised by locals surrounding the visual impact of the new bridge. The former Prime Minister was booted out of City Hall in 2016, and in came Sadiq Khan. As new mayor, he ordered a review into how the bridge project had become a whole shambles. And in 2017, it was found that over £53 million of taxpayers' money had been spent on the project where they hadn't even ordered the diggers and the shovels. It was shown that it was better to cancel the project than to continue with it.
Folks, lads, people, I can't lie, I'm here where the exact end of the garden bridge would have been, approximate-ish, I'm just guessing. If I wanted to see a tree, there's plenty behind me. Look, tree. We don't need another bridge with trees on it, come on, man.
Continuing the chat about projects with Boris's name that didn't make it to the light of day, introducing Boris Island. Boris Island refers to the numerous proposals for a new airport in London, all located in and around the Thames estuary. Proposed as a replacement for Heathrow, Boris's iteration of a Thames estuary airport was proposed to be built off the coast of the Isle of Grain in Medway. In a bid to be the new version of Hong Kong Airport, Boris Island was to be built out of reclaimed land as a platform that could be expanded if needed. However, when you look at the list of advantages compared to disadvantages, it's actually wild. Negatives include the impact of birds and wildlife in the area, and the need for massive infrastructure investment, and the need for a massive shift of the city's aviation workforce from the west all the way across London. The list of positives was nowhere near as long as the negatives, but they did include the fact that flights could now land 24 hours a day. The airport would help regenerate the surrounding area, and there would be no need for a third runway at Heathrow. In 2014, the plans for the airport were rejected on cost grounds and due to the environmental damage posed by the new airport. In lieu of Boris Island, Heathrow seems to be getting its third runway now, and Gatwick has also been expanding. Oh, hold up, before everyone leaves, yeah? Remember, it was Boris that introduced you, Les. That's all I'm gonna say.
You find me here again at the home, the workplace of the GLA of the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Boris Johnson, Bojo Bobo, the Pfeffel. You can say there was a lot going on when it came to public transport. I guess, yeah, the Olympics was going on at the same time, but you can say Boris has left a bit of a legacy here in London. Right, I'm gonna head to bed. My legs hurt. I've been walking around a lot. If you like the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's getting sunny out here. We're gonna vibe. It's a nice Saturday. I'll catch you in the next video. See you in a bit.